Younger people of Reddit, what are you tired of hearing from older generations? Go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, retire, then die. Literally any and all job advice. Sorry, Deborah, but you've worked the same unionized position for 30 plus years. The number of valuable insights you can give me about the modern labor landscape numbers somewhere between diddly and squat. And Hank literally drops the walk downtown handing out resumes and shaking hands line without awareness or irony. I told my mom back in 2007, when I was fresh out of college and looking for a livable wage job, that walking resumes around town wasn't how it worked anymore. That receptionists are told to just throw the resumes away. I was a receptionist, and direct folks to the website. Fast forward to 2017 and she's telling my youngest sibling the same walk resumes around shit while they job hunted after college. No. It's like they just can't unlearn shit. My mom and I got into a fight over housing affordability. Your father, 55, and I, 53, worked very hard to afford this house, $175K, and you make more than we did at the time we bought, 1992. The house now is worth about $1.5 million. My mom didn't work and my dad made $100K per year. I make $150K in houses in my price range or $600K in an hour plus away from where I want to be and less than half size with less than half the lot. $100K a year in 1992 is crazy too, like apparently the average annual wage was $22K back then. Anything to the effect of, young people can't have back pain, or any other physical disability. Like, dude, I wish being in my 20s made me immune to being injured. But that's literally just not how the human body works. Yup. In my 20s also, and I have severe back and neck pain from a car accident. Anytime I mention that I am hurting, which is all the time, but I only say something when it's so bad I can't move, I am dramatic or too young to know real pain. Anyone at that age where they don't know if they can qualify as a younger or older person of Reddit. As a 29-year-old, tired of older people telling me I'll understand joint pain, tiredness when I'm older. I'm disabled and chronically ill. I have had bad joints since birth. Like it's great that all your health problems are a result of your age, but mine have been around and will worsen because of that. But you're too young for, yes, I fucking know that, thank you. I'm 32 and have to go to bed at 8 p.m. if I do a few things too many. I hate it. I have more life experience than you. Then proceeds to go on an emotionally stunted rant based on their own personal bias due to trauma they refuse to process because they know best. 34. I'm sick of hearing about how young people just spend all their time on TikTok. How they have stupid dances. How they're just staring at screens all day, blah blah blah. Yes, they do all that stuff, but we had stupid dances when we were younger. We sat in front of the TV all day. I've yet to see someone with square eyes. Also, hearing about how kids, young people today have no respect for their elders. MFs were doing the same shit that people today are doing now. The difference is, everyone has a camera in their pocket. I am 44 but I still feel like I am young. I am tired of hearing pretty much everything my generation says. I don't understand when everybody else just suddenly morphed into their parents. Yeah, I've run into that too. It's kinda horrifying, isn't it? A few years ago I had some acquaintances who are a couple of years younger than me bitching about those lazy millennials, by which they really meant Gen Z, and how immoral they are, and how we had it harder back in the day. Like fuck, most of us did. Life in the 80s and 90s was simpler and calmer than now, and we had a lot more advantages and less chaos than the generations that came after us. No one wants to work anymore. First of all, no one ever wanted to work. That's why it's called work, and not fun. Second of all, maybe it's that no one wants to work at your job that lists itself as entry-level but wants 5 years of experience and a master's degree along with being able to work 12-hour days at minimum wage. When you're older you'll agree with me. For fuck's sake, just because you're older doesn't mean you're always right or that you know the answers to all my life's problems. You grew up in a different time period, with different problems, and different social views. Your problems might be similar, and you might be right some of the time, but that is no excuse to shut down every logical point I make against your beliefs with this line. When I was your age, I already had 5 kids and 2 grandchildren, or, my granddaughter is your age and she already has 3 kids. When are you going to give you mom some grandkids? I'm 30. Not that old, not that young. But this kind of comment? Definitely old for me. I'm so tired of older ladies saying this. I think I wasn't even 18 when they started. They don't accept any reasonable answer that isn't a, "I'm working on it," "maybe later," or "I'm doing my best to get a steady career before having kids," or "we are saving." Gets them on a rampage saying some BS about kids not costing a thing and that I'm getting old or that women were born to be mothers or whatever. So I started being rude. Sorry, but not sorry. Depending on how aggressive, rude they get, you can throw out replies that break people's conventional autopilot responses. "We're just practicing right now, but thanks for your concern." They're so judgmental and rude. I'm a restaurant worker and I swear young people are way more polite and easygoing while older people have zero patience, even though they're the ones who are already retired. Oftentimes they make racist, sexist, homophobic and body-shaming comments and still act like they're above the younger generation simply because they've been alive for longer. Stop eavesdropping. I'm not eavesdropping, you're just talking loud because you're deaf and I'm not. My father. You only overheard me from the other room, you don't know what I'm actually talking about. Me. I know exactly what you're talking about because I can hear you on the other side of the house. I work with my dad and tell him every day I hear 100% of his conversations since he has them on speakerphone. Could save hours if he stopped briefing me on shit I already know. Nobody wants to work. I swear if I hear that one more time I'm going to scream. Yeah, they're right. The 20+ jobs I applied to in the past year, that I'm qualified to do and wasn't hired at really shows just how much I don't want to work. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. My parents when I was a teenager in the late 90s, now I have to tell my parents that. I'm tired of people complaining about how younger people are terrible as though they weren't the ones that raised those younger people to be what they are. These millennials and their damn participation trophies. Who the fuck were the ones handing them out? They weren't giving them to themselves as children. How we can't fix anything ourselves. Then promptly ask us to fix their Wi-Fi, set up their new phone and figure out why their computer is running slow. We can do plenty, we just have a different skill set. Just had someone the other day ask me, "So why aren't you married?" I'm like, if I met someone worth marrying, then I would. Best response to this is, supply chain issues. I used this on my parents and extended family at the wedding I attended recently. Specifically, well, you know, with the sanctions. Sadly I had to keep explaining the joke which kinda ruined it. When I was your age we never gave a shit about the environment. I hate how we've gone from me getting Facebook as a teenager and my parents being like, "Don't believe everything you see on the internet," to them sending me medical research from unverified, unreputable sources. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work harder. Buddy, I've been working 60+ hours a week and prices keep going up and my pay is not, and I actually cannot afford to change jobs, change my living situation, buy a more fuel-efficient car, or go to college. There actually is no out. There is no work harder and I'll make it. I'm literally in the poverty trap. I'm slowly making my way out of it, but it's going to be a long-ass time unless some other opportunity magically appears. College isn't the price of a McDouble anymore, old man. College isn't the price of a McDouble anymore, old man. Remember when they used to say your mortgage should never be more than 15% of your salary? Lol. Same goes for rent. Dunno what this mortgage is that you speak of, but rent takes a cool 45 to 50% of my take-home pay. 37 to 40 hours per week at $20 per hour. Can't even think of moving to another apartment since prices have rocketed up a couple hundred beyond what I pay now for even the shittiest spots. What a life. Video games are a waste of time. Says the boomer dipshit sitting on the couch, sitting on his phone with Fox News playing in the background. Got told the same thing by an old person for reading a book, LMAO. You just have to work harder if you want to buy a house. That's what I did. Yeah, well, I don't make 50% of the price of a house a year, like you did.